What's going on, you guys? This is Dimension Scott back at you once again with a brand new ranking video and video number 2. And today we're going to talk about Resident Evil, ranking all 7 theatrical films from least to the best. Before getting into today's video, if you're brand new to my channel and you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos if you like what you see. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram with the same name as usual, Dimension Scott, where I talk about all things physical media. Okay guys, so as I mentioned in my unboxing video, I'm going to get into ranking all 7 Resident Evil films that came out theatrically that started in the early 2000s up until a few years ago with Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. From what I've heard, the Paul W.S. Anderson, it has some of its defenders with some of the earlier ones, and after probably the third one it got downhill. And then a few years ago we got Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, which decided to go in a direction where it's more like the video games than what the Paul W.S. Anderson films were. And there will be some people that would say some of those movies are worth defending. A lot of people were divisive about Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, which I will get into in this ranking. As for me, as a zombie fan, as a horror fan, and as a big fan of some of the original 3 games, because they were horrifying, they were all about survival and killing zombies, and looking for weapons to use them throughout the games, which made it so appealing to make me want to play these games over and over and over again. And when I was growing up, I didn't know about it being based on the games exactly, because I did not play the games on PlayStation as a kid until I got older. And I've only been playing over and over as the original 3 games. I think after 3, it just started turning into action, not about horror, T-virus, survival. So after all that, I still have my fun enjoyment with the Paul W.S. Anderson ones, and I enjoy Welcome to Raccoon City for what it is, and I will stand by that, defending that until I'm gone. And without no further ado, shall we begin? Starting at my number 7 least favorite is Resident Evil Afterlife. That was inspired by Resident Evil 5, but to me, after Resident Evil Extinction, it wasn't horrifying anymore. They just started turning into action-packed shooting, killing zombies. The only redeeming qualities to me is the return of Alice, Claire, and they even introduced Captain Cold as Chris Redfield, but a lot of the direction and plot in this movie is just meh. So, and there's even the big villain of Resident Evil in the games, which is Albert Wesker, but overall, meh, not horrifying. It wasn't about survival anymore. Number 6 is the final installment in the Paul W.S. Anderson ones, Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. This could have been so much better. I understand why a lot of people in their rankings had this as number 7. This could have been so much better. This should have been the end game after that cliffhanger at the end of its predecessor, Retribution, that I was personally waiting for. And then I found out at the time it came out, they don't establish that at all. We only just see a glimpse and aftermath of the events of Retribution at that White House. We don't even know the fate of Ada, Leon, and Jill, and everybody else at the end of that movie at all. This could have been so much better. At number 5 is going to be Resident Evil Retribution. Now, what I like was in this movie, it opens up like Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, and we even see Alice actually married to Carlos. This movie brings back almost everyone you know from the original and second movie installments in this continuity. And even like Michelle Rodriguez's character, this movie resolves some questions from Resident Evil Extinction about the fate of Jill Valentine. And this movie sets up a finale at the end of this movie with Leon and Ada and Alice teaming up with Albert Wesker, but unfortunately it went nowhere in the final chapter that I already mentioned about. At number 4 is Resident Evil, the third one, Extinction. Originally, I thought this movie made me check out of the series from ever watching it ever again, because one, they killed off Mike Epps' character, who wasn't even so comedian like he was in the second movie. He doesn't even explain to the group that he has been infected. He doesn't even have time to reunite with Alice like Carlos in the second movie. And what I do like is that it is set in this Mad Max desert remains of planet Earth, of cities like Las Vegas, and it is still scary. It even has cast like Claire. I really like the actress who played Claire in this. She is awesome, and this is probably my favorite look of Alice in this movie. But what I didn't really like was when they killed off Mike Epps in this movie. I thought that was it for me. But now that I've gone back and rewatched it, I think I like it more than I used to. I think it's one of the underrated Resident Evil in the Paul W.S. Anderson continuity. Number 3 is the original Resident Evil. The first one here. It is scary. It is horrifying. It has good cast. It has. It's all about that survival and horrifying, reserving your ammo, and that big scary laser part where you killed off all of those commandos. Some people give this movie so much hate for only one reason. They act like it is nothing like the video games, okay? But what I can tell what it does do from the games is it does have a mansion, which like it was in the original Resident Evil video game. So because you start with a mansion, then you go to the city, and then in the third game you're still in the city and you're dealing with the nemesis, and you're dealing with the final days of Raccoon City. So this is what this movie did. You know, it has a mansion and it has an underground laboratory. It has action, shooting zombies and struggling with the infection, you know, and everything. And Michelle Rodriguez in this movie, I actually think she's the most badass character in this movie. Now, Alice did a great job. I think she still looks good today. This movie was directed by the same guy who did Mortal Kombat, and I think for what this is, it is still an almost decent adaptation of the first Resident Evil movie, and I don't think this movie deserves hate it gets. Number 2 for me is going to be Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. Now, I will stay and defend this movie on a dying rock. People say that they bring this movie down. They say it sucks because, one, they treat Leon like a complete idiot, and they cram 2 video game stories into one movie, which I can understand that negative, but I really don't understand people hating on Leon like an idiot in this movie. Now imagine if we got a sequel to this. Leon could have been a really badass character, and people would have been like, oh, maybe I was too harshly negative on Leon because he is such a badass now. Leon, if you've seen the movie, he saved the day, and he's not useless in the movie. And what I really liked how they paid more closely attention to the video games, but I understand they shouldn't have like crammed 2 games storylines like that in one movie and rushed it all. And everybody else did a fine job along with Claire in this movie. So for what this is to me, is the most closest adaptation of Resident Evil that we will ever get. But coming in at number 1 is my favorite of all time, is Resident Evil Apocalypse, because it is more like Resident Evil 3 Mike Epps, which I knew him from the Friday series as Day-Day. I was like, as a kid, whoa, Day-Day is here in a scary zombie movie. And this is also another close adaptation of the video games, which is more based on Resident Evil 3, because you got you got the final days of Raccoon City, and you got the nemesis, and Alice did a great job. You actually got Jill Valentine, who looks more like her Resident Evil 3 look with the skirt and dress and everything. That is awesome. And this is still going to probably be forever my most favorite adaptation live action, along with Raccoon City, of all time. And every time I'm in the mood, I'm probably going to pick this one over the first one. And that's all I really got to say. But this is still my most favorite entertaining movie based on horror, zombie, survival, video games. So there we have it, guys. What did you think of my Resident Evil theatrical movie ranking from least to the best? Let me know everything down below. And how would you rank the franchise from least to best? Are you a fan of these movies? you love them? Do you hate them? Did you enjoy Raccoon City? Did you ever play the games when you were growing up, or you play them now recently? Let me know all that down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in another ranking video and a couple more videos soon. That is it for today. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.